This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58, starting at verse 2. Yea, in heart you work wickedness, you weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Archa, Kodash, Barakatham. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Shalom to the Aqua, to the Akim out to listen and learning. Lord willing, this edifying video. Shalom to the confusion of faith, brethren, join on to our ranks. Once again, it's the brother Yah, what's up? Out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant coming at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, with another lesson out of the book Mass Control, Engineering Human Consciousness by Jim Keith. We're in chapter 10, Electronic Implants, and Dr. Delgado. And I just felt you needed to bring that scripture out because the Psalms 58, the wicked, is talking about Esau. You know, you go into the book of Job, 9:24 tells you the earth is given to the hands of the wicked who controls the earth. You know, you go in the book of Malachi, it tells you that Esau, Edom is the border of wickedness. Salakia is the border of wickedness. So at the end of the day, you know, the Bible clearly tells you it's people on the earth that are the wicked. You know, so it's not, you know, I know people tend to try to paint us that believe in this truth as if like something's wrong with us, or, you know, we have delusions of grandeur, just, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's how cold the Most High is. Like I say, at the end of the day, when you really stop and pay attention to it, you got people that can't get this song. You know, the book for Revelations, I believe chapter 14 goes into it. And the book of Ezekiel, not sure exactly. I think it's Ezekiel 33, maybe Ezekiel 32. One of those, 33 and 32, or 32 and 33. But it goes into that song that only certain men can hear. You know, it says in the book of John that, you know, the Lord's sheep hear his voice, you know, so we hear this song. But Salakia, I mean to digress, you know, long day and still got to put in work. But, you know, if it ain't rough, it ain't right, because, you know what I'm saying, scripture says that let any man follow Yahweh Shah, he must take up his cross. So it's supposed to be difficult. You're supposed to be tired, you know what I mean? You know, just take the time to think about what you want, you know. I mean, you know, my demon told me that. She said, just imagine what we want. And it says in scripture, his yoke is a light thing. And it is. But at the same time, you know, this is the most difficult thing I've ever done. And I know most brothers in the truth will say the same. You know, Lord willing, Most High could, you know, give me a super download of the patience that the apostles and elders have, you know what I mean? Because I know that takes seasoning, you know. They don't get rattled about too much or nothing, you know what I mean? Which is a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? That's why you can't help but just, you know, be 10 toes in with the Apostle Tahar GMS, because at the end of the day, like Apostle Tahar said, and he didn't need to make the statement, but nonetheless, he made it. You know, he said he leads by example, and he does. You know, man pushes out 4 to 6 to, you know. So if he can do that many in one day and still take care of his household, deal with his, you know, his family and all that, there's no excuses for, you know, brothers that's half his age, you know what I'm saying? Not to play on youth or anything, you know what I mean? You know, what is that scripture in Proverbs that said, a young man's glory is his strength, and an older man's glory is his gray hair? Salakia though, I'm just still running off. Half asleep and half woke. But I quoted a lot of scriptures right there today. I guess the word is in me a little bit. You know, it's amazing because you don't realize how much, if you diligent and really trying to seek, and you can never learn enough, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to this word, this is something that we'll probably be learning over and over to, you know, Most High sends Yahweh Shah to come, you know, get the elect. But without further ado, this is page 94, chapter 10, subtitle Electronic Implants in Dr. Delgado. It says in 1870, two German researchers named Hitzig and Frentich electrically stimulated the brains of dogs, demonstrating that certain portions of the brain were the centers of motor functions. The American doctor Robert Brathlow Brathlow within 4 years demonstrated the same was true of human beings. By the turn of the century, in Germany, Fedor Krauss was able to do a systematic electrical mapping of the human brain using conscious patients undergoing brain surgery. Oh, wow. Bear with me for a second because I want to find out. It says, because this has footnotes and whatnot, and it tells you, notes James P. Morgan, the first reported case of electrical stimulation of the human brain, Journal of the History of Medicine, Zimmerman M. Electrical stimulation of the human brain. But they didn't go into what year, it just said at the turn of the century. So that's like what, early 1900? I'm assuming. Right, because that was 1870. So they talking about like the 1900s. Kind. Another early researcher into electrical stimulation of the brain was Walter Rudolph Hess, who began research into ESB in the 1930s, jolting patients' brains with shocks administered through tiny needles that pierced their skulls. All in the name of science. Huh? They said I got a scripture I'm waiting to bring out. I'm trying to read some more. During the decades of the 1940s and 1950s, Wilder Penfield, a neurosurgeon at McGill University, experimented with electrical brain stimulation on patients undergoing surgery. One of Penfield's discoveries was that the application of electricity on alert patients could stimulate the memory of past events. Now, I'm going to reread this again. It says, during the decades of the 1940s and 50s, Wilder Penfield, a neurosurgeon at McGill University, experimented with electrical brain stimulation on patients undergoing surgery. So while he was doing surgery, he was also experimenting on it. Bear with me for a second. That's some unrighteous shit. So I'm going to get this scripture. Because, I just, constantly continue, you know, bringing out the fact that how this man is the devil, you know what I mean? It's the same scriptures, that how wicked this motherfucker is, how he plots it. This is the book of Isaiah 26. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesties of the Lord. So at the end of the day, on the left hand side, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is giving this devil the means to map out all this stuff. Like with the Human Genome Project, you know what I mean? Like, people think it's far-fetched, but they actually discovered genes. They got a gene called the Schwarzenegger gene. They got genes. They're building super soldiers, believe that. So when we say that the Lord, how's the Lord going to combat what Esau is going to have prepared? I mean, the Gatling gun was something innovative at its time. Fuck Gad up, you know what I mean? And Gad was fearless, you know what I mean? But it fucked Gad up to the point where it broke me in spirits where they said they don't want to fight anymore, you know what I mean? Because they watched that much death and devastation come. At the end of the day, this man literally is, experimenting with people. That was on a low level, but just imagine all the knowledge they gained thus far from that. I mean, to the point now where they know exactly how to implant that chip into your brain, you know what I mean, where it doesn't kill you, and they could I mean, like, and people think this shit far fetched, and oh my God, and that's the scary part. How the Most High got them blind to it. But it says, "Let your favor be shown to the wicked." So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, show favor to this devil by giving him power on the left hand side to come up with all these things. To map out the human brain, to map out the human genome, to be able to come up with that RFID chip. But then again, they don't know what's really going to happen. You know what I mean? That's how you know that they're not God. They're not the power. They're not the Most High. It said, yet will he not learn righteousness? And he won't. For Esau to do righteousness, it'd be off. You know what I mean? It'd be bizarre land. You know what I mean? Like he was set up to be the wicked. You know what I mean? Take the time to think about this. Like, look at this system. I just found out about how, a part of buck breaking was they put men in dresses back then in slavery days. So basically today, when you got these men of our nation that dress up in dresses just for these punk ass paychecks, you should go kill yourself. You know what I mean? I can't respect a lot of them comedians and shit no more. You know what I mean? The motherfucker tell me it's just a dress. Well, if you knew the history of that, would a person just look at it as just a dress or it's just acting? Hell yeah, because most of these motherfucking niggas ain't shit. They ain't got no integrity. In a land of uprightness will he deal unjustly. And this is the land where we came back to, this is the land where the people will be called not my people. Salaki. I'm butchering that, but brother just brought that scripture out too, and I don't feel like going to look it up. But basically, this is the land where we come to remember that we're the children of the Most High, but being told that we're not the children. And he deals unjustly, like he is dealing unjustly. Like I said, at the end of the day, just imagine that's just like with that dude. I forgot that one doctor. I believe it's an Edomite. You go to go get seed, and he put you to sleep, and he was raping women. And they'll never behold the majesty of the Lord because in their mind, they think they are. They think they themselves. They think of themselves as a power. You know what I mean? They don't worship the Most High. Salaki, I didn't mean to go that long on this. I'm gonna stop it here.